at Silva. I mean, that's just amazing. And again, he's out. Anderson Silva has knocked down Boris Griffin.
Everyone loves a good knockout, and MMA is no stranger to providing fans with them. The greatest thing about a knockout is it can turn a fight the other way in a blink of an eye. One punch can change history, and the ones on this list have done just that. It's not easy putting together a list of the top 10 UFC knockouts of all time because there have been so many memorable moments featuring fans' favorite fighters. Still, there are some that stand out above all the rest and are more significant than others. Whether they come in the opening seconds or the final minute, they are the part of the fight fans most remember. Number 10. Yves Edwards vs. Josh Thompson. This unforgettable knockout occurred at UFC 49, an event filled with notable knockouts. Edwards took on the tough lightweight fighter Josh Thompson in the first bout of the evening. Edwards had already fought professionally over 35 times, and he showed the skills he had learned and a new one, a spinning back kick while his opponent had a clinch around his back.
Eve got his back and Eve took him down. Oh, look how strong Josh is. He just stands right back up.
Number 9. Anderson Silva vs. Vitor Belfort. It was supposed to be Anderson Silva's toughest test to date as far as striker versus striker matchups go. Vitor Belfort was coming off a long layoff, but he was also coming off a 3-fight knockout streak over Rich Franklin, Matt Lindland, and Terry Martin. Silva delivered one of the most brutal front kicks you will ever see in the very first round of the title fight, putting Belfort down and out for the first time in his career.
Tag, like we said, second to none.
Number 8. Lyoto Machida vs. Rashad Evans. It was the first time two undefeated fighters were going to meet for a title fight. Lyoto Machida was 14-0 going into his light heavyweight title fight with Rashad Evans, who was 13-01. Machida put Evans down in the first round but was not able to finish. What he did, though, was establish a fighting style that nobody could figure out, and Evans didn't know what to do. He dropped Evans again in the second round and was able to finish him this time with a standout performance of accurate striking and power. Number 7. Mike Russo vs. Todd Duffy. This come-from-behind knockout over one of MMA's most physically imposing fighters is one of the most memorable victories ever. Mike Russo had accepted everything Todd Duffy had to offer in the first 2.5 rounds except being knocked out. In the third round, Russo connected on the undefeated heavyweight and put him to sleep.
It is a little jacked up. Russo, they got caught! Mike Russo has knocked out Todd Duffy! Mike Russo with the victory! Wow! Oh my God!
Number 6. Phil Baroni vs. Dave Menn. Everyone remembers Phil Baroni's famous post-fight quotes versus Dave Menn, but the knockout was just as awesome. Within 1 second of getting the first and former middleweight champion hurt, and against the cage, Baroni delivered 5 more punches in 1 second to put his opponent out.
A solid black trunks, that's Dave Menn. Baroni caught him with the right, and it's closing in, trying to finish it, and it's over, and it's all over. Phil Baroni ends it and does it quickly. Oh my!
Number 5. Tank Abbott vs. John Maduwa. Tank Abbott will go down as a fan-favorite fighter because of his knockouts and fearless fighting spirit. This was his second fight at UFC 6, Clash of the Titans. It took 18 seconds before the Huntington Beach fighter brutally knocked out John Maduwa in one of the most disturbing knockouts ever witnessed inside the octagon. Number 4. Scott Smith vs. Pete Sell. This mind-blowing moment came at the Ultimate Fighter 4 finale. Scott Smith was known for his toughness and hands of steel, but his opponent, Pete Sell, was also a hard puncher. After digging in a body shot to his former teammate from the Ultimate Fighter, Smith was visibly hurt and crouched over. Sell shot in for the finishing blow but got hit with a punch he never saw coming and was knocked out.
Round 2. White scheduled for 3 fights. Oh, shot. Beautiful. Pete Sell. Pete was knocked out. Scott Smith got rocked with the body
And he's
shot.
still hurt. He's still hurt from that body shot.
Number 3. Gabriel Gonzaga vs. Mirko Cro Cop. Gabriel Gonzaga's head kick over Mirko Cro Cop was just as savage as any head kick the former kickboxer had delivered before. It was supposed to be the fight to set up Cro Cop versus Couture for the heavyweight championship. But Gonzaga got the shot instead because of his sensational performance that night at UFC 70. This head kick started the downfall of the legendary Pride fighter, and would be the start of many more to come. Number 2. Dan Henderson vs. Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping's trash talk leading up to the UFC 100 bout was not answered by Dan Henderson, at least not until they met in the cage. Henderson showed early that the fighter from England wasn't going to be much of a challenge, as he defended takedown attempts and hurt his opponent early. In the second round, Henderson delivered his H-bomb and put Bisping to sleep. He also followed up on it in what was arguably the best moment of his career.
Man, he's looking to load up, Joe.
Number 1. Chuck Liddell vs. Randy Couture. Chuck Liddell was looking to reclaim the light heavyweight title he had lost to Randy Couture 2 years before. The rematch was announced for UFC 52, which took place 1 week after the historic battle between Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonnar. It only took 2 minutes before Liddell connected with his trademark right hand on Couture's chin, putting the two-time UFC champion to sleep. Liddell would go on to knock out Randy Couture for a second time at UFC 57. But the first knockout was his biggest moment.
They want a definitive ending to this bout.
Yeah, Randy trying to close it. And he goes, he's down. And Chuck Liddell is new light heavyweight champion of the world.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified by our latest videos.